We now have before us the National Judiciary team, who is designated as the accounting officer for the National Judiciary. So it's you.
Yeah.
Title that is given to you?
CEO.
CEO. We have the Chief Executive Officer of the National Judiciary. Yo, thank you much for coming with your team. Feel free. I mean, these all proceedings here, you know, you're well familiar with it. You've been part of it in the past. So I'm sure that, you know, you will really be happy to be engaged in this process. So, members of the committee, let us all, you know, make welcome the Chief Executive Officer and as of his team to the proceedings of the Public Accounts Committee. So, CEO, we are now into another process of consultation to be able to help Parliament to engage at the plenary level, law debate long 2026 Appropriation Bill 2025. I think another related ministry that is connected to the functionalities of the National Judiciary, we're already calling to the proceedings some few days ago, I think, the Ministry of Justice and Legal Affairs. So they have run through with us, you know, some of the activities that are related to your organization, and today it's your turn. But I think this is all about, you know, the all tier levels of the court system that you mean, yeah? So that's what is really under your purview. Just looking at the budget trend, year on year, I think you have been given a fairly small, very small increase, no more. Possibly you have tried your best to maintain the same level, yeah? So you have not been somehow unnecessarily being disadvantaged in the way that the overall envelopes have been given to you. Given the nature of your activity, the mix on recurrent and development budget here, in terms of expressing in ratio mix, roughly about 90% now low recurrent and 10% on development. Perhaps you can just run through with the ministry, or I mean with the committee, what's the distribution in terms of the emphasis on the recurrent and the various tier belong court system. The Court of Appeal is up there, you know, the High Court, then you have the different courts below here. Which one I am got the most of the development budget. The ideal situation would be to have a robust recurrent mechanism administration that is more efficient, and then give more resources for development. So I think next year, or in the current discussion about the 2026 budget year, and come up with some kind of a guideline of 80%, 20%. Yeah, 20% on development and 80% on the recurrent. Yours is almost in everyone go recurrent no more. Yeah, of course, you know, you have some provisions law that you know look anything law non-appropriated, but I think on the development, maybe some fella position on the non-appropriated, yeah, judges position no more, somehow non-appropriated, yeah. But we don't want to keep the judges outside being remunerated, non-appropriated, yeah. So try to talk to the donors, put them come law appropriation now, salary blood, some judges that we are bringing in, yeah. Because no matter, no good you order to sit on the bench and then make them judgment, then I'll say, she might pay you no outside of non-appropriated funds here, yeah. So, you know, some of those implications too, and so we come in. We still have a jurisprudence where some of the kind extreme expression of ideas and opinion law and matters like that, yeah, I'm still very much moderate, but if whatever jurisdiction, yeah, man, or images like that, I'm really dive deeper into cutting out the integrity and dignity belong other people, all them other positions, yeah. Emotion. I know one judge, is a good friend of mine too. Then go him come lo em la la no malongo basket blame lo Brisbane go em kasem lo de go hole em now. Emotion. Used to save law, I think ACT and Supreme Court law Australia. Emotion. La no malo airport lo Brisbane, yeah. I'm saying something in jello basket below me. What's your home? Hold me no. In the end, I'm saved law, a prison, calls up a place with me, staple him before prison law, Goldben. And then he was stripped of everything now. So, no spoiler motor judge blame me become here. If the constitution him say everything that him come to country has to be appropriated, please. Lo non appropriate, me look him salary below all judge lo there. Yeah. So standards have to be established by me. Yeah. So right parts of law the executive arms look up. Normal of that one, yeah. By the distribution belong budget mix here. Maybe CEO you would want it to run through with the committee on that one anymore. Yeah, and then from there we can a little bit expand a little bit long or come a little specific. What are the priorities? What are thinking going forward for judiciary? So CEO and your team, please feel welcome, and the space is yours now to interact one time committee, please.
Thank you, Honorable Chair and members of this august committee. Introducing our team this morning as we make representation on behalf of the judiciary. Ms. Imelda Take, FG, Madam Registrar of the Court of Appeal and High Court, Mayone, myself, Joseph Bibiasi. On my right, Human Resource Manager, Mr. Morite, and further on my right, the Registrar Magistracy. On my far right, the local court coordinator, Dason Bosso, and just behind me, our principal accountant, Ms. Memahite. And not forgetting, sorry, this gentleman, Mr. Gerald Young, our ICT manager. As you, Chair, you make mention of the presentation done by PS George, who is also our PS. He must have said something on this. I'm pretty sure you are aware. We will go along that same line by way of acknowledging the presentation made with reference to certain things which I wish to also reiterate for the sake of this session. Before saying anything further, I wish to register here an acknowledgement on behalf of of the judiciary for your August Committee's support to the judiciary, which resulted in us securing almost 30% increase from last year's budget. Thank you too much. That helped us to deliver on our core businesses, and we were able to achieve some results, which we are hopeful to share some in responses to any queries raised this morning. This year, we acknowledge the financial situation, which also affect the way we placed bids, to which result we only secure 5% on the bids we've made on top of the baseline we were given. That's for the recurrent. We slightly maintain the development budget provision this year into next year, which is around 5.7 M, and that's to cater for, I believe PSS also mentioned that before the committee a few days ago, on some of the plans, strategic plans we want to achieve in collaboration with the ministry. And so precisely the is to submit on the following areas that despite a drop in the consideration by the government to allocate us just 5% on top of the baseline given, we see it as okay for us to run with or to operate to run our operations comes 2026 with our core function being court circuits and court hearings in the provinces and here in Honiara. We are hopeful to continue delivering on the expectations. As you noted, there's an increase in the payroll. We have secured through our budget new officers who will support, especially the registry of the High Court, and also support new officers who will be joining us in 2026. That's in response to the number of judges that we also have them onboarded to the establishment. So currently we have 11 judges, 8 male, including Chief Justice, and 3 female judges. So you would note that the slight increase is in response to that service or the expectations from that office. With that, Chair and members of the committee, we make submissions that we will continue to work with what we were given in 2026, but if there's a shortfall in terms of our operations, given the 5% decrease in terms of that applies across the whole of SIG, then we will use existing processes, especially firemen and any supplementary requirement to pursue that in order for us to complete 2026. But otherwise, to start the year, we are hopeful we can continue to work together with our stakeholders to deliver on expectations in terms of ensuring the justice is accessed across our beloved nation. With that, Chair, I will stop here and allow for any comments or any recommendation from your guest committee. Thank you.
Thank you, CEO. Thank you for those remarks. Me like how humble you are in expressing and accepting whatever that is being given. But year on year, this has been the way that we are treating the judiciary too, Emotion, including even to be more specific in the way that we allocate resources. For instance, I'll take it through one aspect here. I mean, all court levels, believe me, should be allocated resources how they operate. Yeah, law, High Court, magistracy, and the local court. Say who is responsible for the CLAC? Because it is CLAC, in my understanding, it's a product of the Lands and Titles Act here. Yeah. Yeah. Is it?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. So, but on Manulans come later, I'm telling about CLAC?
No.
Provisioning? Huh?
No.
Talk about what TOL number, yeah? Yes. It's one court that has been neglected here. And I'm going to recommend to you, you need to take it up. Or you may follow me exactly what now the High Court say that, the Chief Justice and is it the Commissioner or the PS or Minister of Lands need to come up with some kind of a guideline, yeah, for operationalizing now. the operation of the court, including regulations and resourcing as well. Yeah. So I think you need to go back again, and then you take it to the Chief Judge and say, look, we do something here about this CLAC court here. Otherwise, CLAC about the money to talk all about it. Sorry.
Just out of interest,
yeah.
So who know where is CLAC kind of?
It's not in here.
I'm not start with them.
Oh.
Just for clarifying, CLAC is one of the 5 courts.
Yeah.
We have the Court of Appeal, the High Court,
Yes.
Magistrate Court, Customary Land Appeal Court, and Local Court.
Yes.
So, operationally, mi fala garema a magistrate that once CLAC seat, him become the clerk, the proceeding.
Yeah, I know. But I think some few years ago, I think the Supreme Court made some clarifications about the rules of conduct belong to CLAC too here. Requiring both the Chief Justice and the Minister of Lands to set him out properly. So I think in terms of handling matters below CLAC, yes, I would agree with you that, now that you have actually exerted your control in getting them over, to be administered by way of possibly resourcing, I think. But I think it would be good to go back to the to what the law give rise to this court, and then ask those institutions and for them to understand him too, why they are there. I think that's the whole thing here, CEO. So my thinking is that, like for instance, we have it here, the Court of Appeal expenses, for instance, that's important, the recurrent, to have the same for High Court. You've got to have the same for Magistracy too. And you've got to have the same for CLAC if you collaborate well one time, Ministry of Lands and, Lands. And talk one time friendly, we also spend him here, because I'm under, we are commissioner here, and then find out, how now they can come up with better understanding on resourcing in the local court. Because that's how we measure. Yeah? Measure by way of investing in resources, not lump up somewhere and then you say, oh, mi fale run operate no more jola. What ought to bundle him together lo there, so time out money pupul staka, mi fale sa no mana. Like that. Yeah? That's what we need to be clear about. And then the whole country who are interested to see that justice is delivered to them at various levels, what to do about to feel comfortable? Yeah? What to do about to feel comfortable? And then by every year, you come normal lawyer and say, now, many cases now have been registered, but been attended to by all courts below me at those various levels. And even more than that is that the fact that, we wanted to assess the effectiveness of how responsible authority may give resources. Sooner or later, if you become independent or you have some autonomy, yeah, then this will be the best guideline for you to build a better, autonomous judiciary into the future. So it is something that, you may put him fit for purpose, shoot him situation long future. So I think you need to go back and then try for working out in this budget and bring it to us. You've got very little time to do that, yeah. But we will give you the space for you for doing it. Because, tell them, well, that's what our people in Chalo country would read him, yeah? How much we allocated for every court system, and then furthermore, break them down local regions here. Because every court got a much jurisdiction here. Yeah? Prescribed. Every court here and prescribed by law here. And gazetted too. Central magistracy, for instance, including Guadalcanal and where? Central Yaba. Yeah? Eastern magistracy and where? Malaita magistracy and Bloem Celeba. Western magistracy and Bloem Celeba. Even with the local court here too. Some odd man the development on court block celebrate ye. Amo semi. Sama lota on sina omi vala make on court block mi val too. Mi val just finish hearing come. Or lu go but where none of those court fall under what na mean prescribed courts jurisdictions here. Amo semi. Then go sama lota man we run motor court out and ablorove now. Yeah. True yeah. Amo semi. Me not too sure, but I think order somehow what Lobe
or the regional magistracy.
Regions of magistracy. Yeah, more same. What prescribe him to you? So resources lower order to you. Yeah, but local courts too. We're not local court. What got him do?
Last page block.
The last page too. Yeah. Something was same. Yeah. That's what we need to have. Yeah. So, but that's. Law detail what give come. You have your own accounting codes to it, isn't it? Yeah. So that kind of a resourcing is what we want. Make them our people can see it and say yes, we properly resource him now. Judiciary blame. So I think you guys have raised a very good points in the past. So I'm going to ended up with what now has been given this time. Yeah?
We like ask about caseload.
Yeah.
At the various levels of court, performance below each level, how are we doing? That come local court, CLAC, Kakama. Caseload and effectiveness for deal with remote cases here. So, any backlog or kind of something also?
Thank you, Honorable. I'll allow our respective heads below the courts for respond accordingly.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll start with the Court of Appeal and High Court. Thank you.
Please. Yeah.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, Committee. Thank you, CEO. Now, you're right to say there are 5 courts in this 5 courts, hierarchical courts, Los Solomon Islands. So I'm responsible for the High Court and Court of Appeal. So High Court cases blow me fala as it stand from day before yesterday, which MIFA should come in the PAC yesterday, but I'm deferred for today. We have, for 2025, we have 45 cases filed, and then disposal blumifala as of our last Court of Appeal sitting, 102%. We also have outstanding pending cases too, around 100 plus. These have inclusive of pending judgments, pending application for leave, and what appeal proper. Now, Court of Appeal sits, usually we sit biannually, so 2 times 1 year at 2 week slots. Next year, our plan is to, and then, okay, so 2 week slots. And then our second sitting for last year, we have our Court of Appeal second sitting, but on a 3 week slots. We've increased the sitting days for a further week. Now, the next year, our plan next year, depending on the availability of our judges, we are looking at 2 week sittings at 3 week slots, or three sittings at 2 week slots. So confirmation of that one, as I've said, it depends on our judges, Court of Appeal judges, and then we'll do that. But with a disposal rate, Blumifala at 102%, work well. That's for the Court of Appeal. Now, for the High Court, as been mentioned by our CEO, we have 11 judges, including the Honorable Chief Justice. In 2024, we have 533 cases registered, and then disposal rate, Blumifala, in percentage is around 99%. Now, this year, as of yesterday, Wednesday, we have 576 cases filed, and then our disposal also at that date is 102% too. From database Blumifala, we have 1,300 plus cases pending. This is inclusive of unlisted cases, listed cases, cases with trial dates, and cases where hemp supposed to be listed on circuits. Now, the only option where, well, not the only, but one of the options to address these pending cases now is to, the backlogs now is to recruit more judges. Workload of judges this time, if for 150 cases per judge, low average, heavy. Heavy, not that one. So, because in a case, no only subject matter, no more hemi file that there are interlocutory applications where it will take time for disposing a case.
So, what's the planning in terms of the more number of judges? Because you still have a ceiling. How many more now left close ceiling there?
Yeah. So we have 21 now. Act give him Lumifala set him up. We have 21 now. Is 11. But then, so we have around 10 more, yeah? 10 more judges to be filled. I mean, Mifala Sabe fill him in. Garem contributing factors lo that one to infrastructure come in. A judge say level him garem own package him like EPS, associate, domestic servants, security, drivers. So these a judge comes with a package. So yeah, so that's the position now.
So what's the planning for increase more loan? No any increase next year or following year? Package ya, bayi bisa PM no more.
Well, what ministers but come on them package too, yeah. To appoint a minister, cardinal of their driver and almost everything. So all these positions, same no more. But is there an option for next year for recruiting further judges more, additional judges? I mean, that's a matter for your Judicial and Legal Services Commission anyway. But I think the question that you may want to have to ask him, is do you have the sufficient resources to be able to do more recruitment law next year of judges?
Under the establishment, no any, correct me if I'm wrong.
For 2026, there's no position anticipated for judge.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
You will not apply for it?
So you didn't bid for it?
Actually, Mifala listened to Honorable Chief Justice, law advice blame based on how I'm running judiciary blame. Then Mifala respond on need where he recommend him.
So Chairman, this for number of High Court judges, this is for financial year 26, where we 10 year. That's where you are at the moment in judges. High Court judges and 10, vacancy and 0.
So 10, yeah, yes, local judges. The 11th one, him
Expert.
You must have come some expert more.
Oh,
Very important.
the experts no stuff inside law, this for
Non-appropriated, yeah. I'm not only one will non-appropriated. Why you look him? Inappropriate for minimum. Think where you appropriate him no more. I think what domestic servants, driver to him, got him driver.
Yeah.
And for clean him truck, eh? And man for brush him front house here. Him got him, but him inside long
Yeah.
establishment blue you me.
Inside.
Not in chat lots, well non-appropriated, yeah? Eleven normal, yeah. MPM tax law here or MPM tax law Australia? What's your understanding on that, CEO? Judge?
I'll have FC comment on that.
Please, me interest no more for because this barrow really impinges into the integrity of the judges. Yeah, I must say that they must be seen as paying tax lawyer too. non-appropriated no mi maro ona ya.
Yeah,
So una capturing tax Solomon or Australia?
actually,
Yes.
the detail of this expat, it wasn't provided for us, but then an understanding where Garemlo tax is, even though I'm expat, she should be taxed under our Solomon Islands Tax Act.
Okay. So maybe you find that out, give that information to me all before end-law week here, tomorrow, so that we are ready for that kind of assessment too. See, we are talking about those that are applying the law here. They must be seen as accepting something as part of their terms and conditions to deliver that, within the bounds of the law. Some information here. Leader, you like to tell him something?
Yeah, I was going to ask case law there, law high court. What's the optimum each judge should handle in a year? 150 for Judge Emi Barawa overload.
I'd say less than 100, 80,
About 80 judge per year.
yeah, less than 80,
Yes.
yeah,
Per judge?
yes.
And so we have Valaya by how much now?
So currently 150 per judge, so overloaded.
Oh yeah? 1,000 over cases law Niana lo Solomon. So we are a state that am filled with all contention, yeah, man. They everyone here. You may say we are a peaceful country and happy else, but we are everyone go for fight no in jail law court here.
I'm not so peaceful.
A moment.
We wait outside, you're in trouble.
But the moment of the vote outcome of there, or the look or same side well or tell about 2 years. Yeah. So yeah.
One of our recommendations will be to nudge the Chief Justice to increase the number and increase him foreign judge come. Maybe supplement him, complement him, our local judges. Not that you may not trust him, you may say, but I'm good for you, me mix a little bit low.
Chairman,
Well, that part,
another level.
no more. That part no more is me. I'm not sure whether we can express it in that strongest way to ask the Chief Justice for me as chair of the committee. Me always I think about the independence of the judiciary. Yeah, but we can express it in the very, very most comforting way. That to help out with the judiciary, I mean the committee can help to recommend that we have some donor funding for him coming said, but you need in order for Solomon too, the way that we engage them in the country, they must be seen as taxpayers of Solomon Islands too. I must say. They cannot be taxpayers of another country and then come save law here. And issue of equity to our own local judges as well, and all of that, they may come into play. I must say, so you give them information only 1 year where come to guide us in our recommendation. Good him thinking no him saying me take plan for go back no same that's not what we are saying. Just for help him no more improve them the way we can help the judiciary now until they have become more autonomous.
Thank you, Chairman. Well, we have the urgent need to increase judges because of the amount of cases where Hemi pending law high court. What is the ministry's status regarding the progress law construction law house law fencing law chief justice here and construction law get a new for the building for get a judges here no good him too one for the issue where Hemi chief justice him look him and Hemi reserve for ask him you for bid for inside the recurrent for additional charges. Thank you, Chairman.
CEO, please.
Thank you, Honorable. You would note from the DB, there's provision for continuing with the fencing law, officer residence block, Chief Justice, allocation law and also a new project Blomifala by him start next year, lo lenga kiki for judges residence, and not forgetting a magistrate project too by him go ahead next year under DB. That's for non-residents. We have two projects, officer residence below Chief Justice and also the new judges residence building.
So, Chairman, expected timeline for you to complete this fencing and construction work.
What's the expected timeline?
Expected timeline.
In terms of speaking from experience, it would take at least more than a year for him completed. Yeah.
So you are going, so the approach now is that you want to build residence for each of the judges? Or just how many residents normal are going to be built?
Depend on the land where court and got him now.
Okay.
Also resources were allocated.
But for now, it is basically the Chief Justice residence normal, yeah? Or how many residents now are you going to construct now?
Only one for next year.
One number for next year.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah. So all others are rented outside.
Yeah.
Security-wise, they are protected?
Like Madam Registrar also expressed, each judge has security below him.
Okay.
I would say literally, I think Khalsa Yumi and Lotu, he play part of the security.
Thank you.
If me for beef him up security, me for no got him enough.
That's good.
I would honestly say that.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. No, because meeting him normal last time, he's not a member of the bench, but now he's a member of a bench. DPP. Me, him run lo middle lo road here, come down lo finance too. Then me say, what's wrong with you? Him say now, him look back. Han no more point by Kosem. Yeah. He was actually, well, he was approached by someone that, you know, he prosecuted in the past, and time money come people window no more. Was here take off straight now, low road straight, yeah? So I don't want that to happen to our judges. So please, Small Malaida, you were going to say something?
Chairman, sorry, this is on a different something more, but excuse my ignorance.
Yes, please. Yeah.
Me still want to say, who look after CLAC and local court?
Yeah.
In terms of
financing.
Yeah, funding block and also yeah.
Thank you, Honorable. Deputy Registrar Magistracy, by him respond law CLAC and local court by coordinator him respond now. Thank you.
Thank you. In terms of CLAC, administration wise, him come under magistrate court. Though him under the Land and Titles Act, Cap 113, but magistrate court now, Ogata administrative na CLAC. So budget blokata CLAC, him come under na the Central Magistrate Court.
So it is reflected in the
Central Magistrate Court budget.
Because me look him now, the division law, the magistracy law here, yeah, Western, Central, Malaita, and Eastern, is it?
That's right.
For
Seconds.
scribe, no, magistrate courts here.
So magistrates we include him CLAC,
Yes.
in terms of their budgetary allocations.
That's right.
Okay.
Can you really express him? I think that's the point that
Yes.
they're meeting him by
But also higher distinguished.
teaching him now, yeah. to be properly distinguished inside law, this is a magistrate allocation.
So if you
You
look,
don't have a line item for it, yeah?
Yeah.
if you look law magistrate, Central Magistrate Court budget, yeah, there is a line law there, or him specify him now, and I think him to take him up the budget law there for CLSC because I'm quite expensive court na that one by me say. For the 5 district court, the Eastern, Western, Malaita, Central District, or garam on budget below criminal circuit or criminal. But in terms of CLAC, I have come under Central Magistrate Court here.
So what you are saying is that, you know, when the court, CLAC, in this case, in session, Central Magistracy, na allocating resources.
Resources, that's right, yeah.
I think it's best for you have a line item to each magistrate court here, rather than central itself. Suppose you may appropriate him under central, and within the jurisdiction belong or central magistrate court na yeah. Problem below auditing and reporting by him coming inside. So for appropriation purposes, you must divide him now. How much? Below Malaita and Malaita, CLAC. Below Eastern region, below the Seleva. Because as it stands right now, we are wiring out of, so to speak, we have to wire money out from central magistracy to all those other magistrate courts here. That's how, Baba, you're doing, yeah? Yeah,
But at the moment, you may go ahead use him no more, head there no more, wherever, what.
But you may have to stop him, yeah?
All right. Yeah.
To stop it.
But it works? Does it work?
Chairman,
And work well.
Work all right?
Yeah?
Yeah, but
just to add on to
Yeah.
that one, in terms of CLAC, there are 3 budget lines specifically for CLAC circuits, where him centralized law central magistrate, and that covers for all the entire district courts. So they have their own budget, separate lines, law central magistrate budget.
Interpretation belong when you appropriate to a particular, because or every magistrate here have a jurisdiction of themselves here. They are jurisdictional courts here. So time you may appropriate law here, you appropriate go there central court here. For you for taking resources there to go to Malaita Magistrate, CLAC for instance, you must wire money. You know, regime no more payment from there, then you say now, oh, this is for the Malaita. Modit him come, Baba him say, aye, but I'm appropriation him for central magistracy here. Because what numbers here, you appropriate him here. You look at what sub lines here. Items. That's what I am saying, that you need to improve it. What belongs to Malaita, CLAC, you must appropriate him there. What belongs to, I mean, to me, me no say oh, what him osem lo there, you mean go osem no more. I mean, you mean by the process of appropriation by you mean spoil him there. Each jurisdiction over there, it's a law of itself. You mean gazette him na every court here. They are not just pronounced for nothing, yeah? They are pronounced by law. Yeah? It shows their jurisdiction. Yeah? From the law, every court here. And that comes to the point about the local court too. All the local courts are gazetted here. So for you, lumping normal inside law one val normal, I think you have to do the same for local courts too. All the local courts have to have their own line items inside law. The same prescribed by law, yeah? Court Act, tell him that the Chief Justice him by gazette him, every local court here. They are jurisdiction of themselves. So, no more, the thing below me like him that you wanna detail him out too, or every local court here. Go, local court, or no looking, what not significance below whatsoever too. Mivalo side down lo here, they don't know which local court to what fall under lo here, Mosem, I mean, Mivalo Eastern Region here. And, so, can we do that too? Yeah?
Yeah, me no team chair for Mifalo Wakalahem. Special separate budget head for Silesi.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. To each magistrate court here. I mean, if they are the ones who are administering Mawada, they have to have their own separate line items here within a magistracy. Same with the local court too. So that in that way we can better appreciate him now. I mean, local courts now, you mean Garam local country here. You?
Thank you.
CEO, I think you may reach him some good understanding and conversation. Is there any other thing where you would like for Talem Law Committee?
Yeah, not pretty much, but thank you for putting us to task law things where Mifala know him, and also develop continue for collaborate with him, stakeholders for deliver what's expected of the judiciary in terms of the core functions. Mifala trying best to, despite the challenges, especially the geographical setting, where when we schedule circuits, and then with the hemi bad, so there are challenges out there in the far east, far west, low central, north and south. We follow continue to face challenges, but despite that, who else by doing?
Sure.
Well, by continue for work within resources where me given. As he address him expectations of people in terms of accessing justice from the courts. Thank you.
Thank you so much.